So it's another week. Another week has gone by. Trying out a different mic this week. If this don't work, it don't work. But also, I've got a different fire. So instead of having a wood fire on the bush box, which I've done over the past couple of weeks, I've got a ton of paper which needs burning. So I've got a tiny little incinerator, which I picked up from B&Q, cheap, chirpy, cheap. Surprisingly, it's small. This is it. To be honest, I've overpacked it a little bit. It's alright when it gets the oxygen in there, but there's a lid for it. It tends to stifle the oxygen, and it's really windy out here today. Really windy out here today, and it's threatening to snow. Yeah. So we'll see if this cup of tea ever gets up to temperature. Yeah. I'm using the bush box, but I'm not using it with a wood fire. Yeah. So one of the things you can do is you can put this plate in there and then put your alcohol burner from your Trangia stove. Now I've got a feeling that even with that kind of a windshield, it's not going to get enough protection from this wind. And if I don't get smoked out by this thing, by the time I finish saying what I'm going to say, Lord only knows. We'll see how it goes. What have I got to say? Not a lot. Busy week. Just doing normal work. I was working late on, oh my god, that late Friday night with my work. Left me tired on Saturday. I mean, I was right till about 3 o'clock on Saturday morning. So it goes. Do IT, you've probably spotted my jacket in the past. Meth written here, not wearing that today. Don't know why I'm wearing my posh walking jacket out here having a stupid smoky fire and getting the gardening even more of a mess. Part of the fun. I got comments last week from people who know me, know me too well, and they suggested that this wasn't proper camping. That this wasn't proper camping without a pot noodle. That's how well they know me. Yeah. And when I was younger, I would run off when we arrive at campsite and buy a pot noodle from the camp shop. Always fun. And it became a ritual. It was the thing I did. You know. But I ran out, got me a pot noodle. Yeah. Quite literally. Ran out, well, didn't run, I walked. We walked down to did our weekly shop. We like doing that. But got me pot noodle. The first cup of water coming off of here is going in there, and I'm going to eat a pot noodle out here in the cold weather while that bin's putting ash fucking absolutely now that it's got some air in there, maybe putting the lid on will work. Yeah. Don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's just too windy a day. I'm not going to put any more paper in that. Not today. Leave that for another day. Test that out. That's working well. That's working well. Keeping me warm and all. Move it just slightly where I can better see it. better keep it under control. All part of the fun. Smoke here, billowing flames over here from an alcohol burner. Bit of silliness. Bit of silliness. I said I wasn't going to do these scripted, and I'm not. There's no point. Yeah. This weather is bloody awful. Yeah. I have a feeling that the God's may see it's fit to put some more snow down. Well, I don't think it's going to be much though. It's just cold. The occasional flake goes drifting past your face, and it makes you snivel, which is can't be helped when it's cold and you're sat outdoors and you're not exactly doing a lot. And, you see the odd flake falling now. Well, you might do. We'll see how well these GoPros pick that kind of thing up. Certainly good enough. I've been impressed with what I've been able to do in the sort of like past couple of weeks. You know, the sound is not that great on the direct GoPro. You know, even with the media mod around it. So I picked up the cheap lav on mic. See if that makes any more. You'll probably feel it sitting here. That probably made a right rustle. As if I've managed to make it work properly. That'll be fun, wouldn't it? You know, I was having sat here recording all of this and we got none of it to no sound on it. That'll be entertaining, really entertaining. But these things happen, and you're going to try these things out. So I'm going to try Pot Noodle outdoors in this bloody freezing weather. Part of the entertainment. Keep those. I know that my subscriber count has not increased. No surprise there. Even though I did get a couple of comments from people who know me. It's always fun to see them make their comments, and the fact that you know that people are actually watching your silliness. It is silliness. I've never considered myself one of these people who will talk to camera much, let alone let people see it. It took a long time for me to get to the point where I could let people see my photography, my still photography. So, letting people see my ramblings to camera, is a step, big step forward. I'm going to move these bin bags because they're making a lot of noise. Okay, so I'm back from that. I just took those bin bags in because we're making a lot of rustling noise, and I bet you most of this video now has rustling, and that's all you'll hear is rustling, not me. I was almost, I mentioned it last week, we attempted to put a tarp up. The missus looked at me, tarp? Tarpaulin? Yeah. Of course, doing it with a ridge line and doing it properly, bushcrafter style. The way we used to do it in the forces. It's, looking at some of these YouTube videos, it brings back some memories. Some of the fun we had, some of the cold nights we had. Back then, the gear was a really, really bad sleeping bag, and it was down, but it wasn't proofed in any way, shape or form. If it got wet, oh my god, it would smell horrible because they just did, but they would take weeks to dry out, not days, but actually weeks to dry out properly. You didn't dare get them wet, but when they were dry, they were warm enough. And then you got a nasty bit of bum roll, not even as good as the one I'm sitting on. That was your kit mat, and then you had your army poncho, which you'd put over the top of you'd walk, or when you got to a point where you were camping out for the night. I say camping out in the loosest term of the words. You'd set your ridge line up and you'll throw your poncho over the top of it like a tarp, almost like a 2x2 tarp. Nowadays, of course, got a nice 3x3 tarp. I think I'm going to get a cup of tea out of that as well. But, alcohol is really blowing around. It burns out quite quickly. I was expecting it. I'll pick that up in a minute. I told you it was windy out here. Right, you don't want to see me make this. Let's see if there's enough alcohol in there to make a cup of tea as well. Yeah, you never know. Might be lucky. If not, I'll just give it a bit of a refill. I'm trying out the bioethanol that you can get from B&Q here in the UK. I always used to use methylated spirits. According to the EU laws, you're no longer supposed to use methylated spirits because it doesn't clean burnly enough. And if it doesn't clean burnly enough, it's you can't use it. And it goes with wood as well. It would have to be dried out to a particular degree, and you've got to get it really dry to conform so that it burns cleanly. That's gone out almost. I think the matches I used to light it is just burning now. I'll never get a cup of tea out of that, will I? But no, it's got to be really dry wood for it to burn cleanly. And reduce CO2 emissions. That's what we're all about. So, in the fairness of trying these things out, I will use a bit of bioethanol for a little while and see how it gets on and whether it's any good. And in comparison to using it when I'm do meths. I say do meths, it makes me sound like a druggie, doesn't it? How I use methylated spirits in my alcohol burner makes it sound a bit better. So yeah, I will test these things out and I will let you know in future video maybe how I find these things go. It's not a review. I never said I was going to do reviews. I categorically said that in the last one. I'm not going to do reviews. This is me and my ramblings. It's been rambling this week. Mostly about that thing that I put over there that smokes absolutely everything out and made my eyes wince. It's a bad fire when your eyes wince. And of course, a bit of nostalgia. So I'm going to get on with my nostalgia now, and I'll see you all later. Ta-da for now.